Welcome back to the channel. I am Sam, and today we're going to talk about the very best dirt bikes that are on the market today. Alright, welcome back. So, quick housekeeping. If you guys love dirt bikes, hit the subscription button, like and follow. This channel is nothing but dirt bikes. Follow along as I learn and grow in the dirt bike world and figure out how to bring quality content to you guys. Also, if you want to help out the channel, there's a link in the description. It's a Rocky Mountain ATV link. Click on that. We get a small commission and it helps me buy parts and dirt bikes and afford to be able to do content like this, so we appreciate that. So let's talk about the best dirt bikes on the market. Now, I'm going to say something up front. The number one thing is the best dirt bike in the world is the one you have in your garage. It does not matter. So having a dirt bike in the garage is the best dirt bike to you that you possibly can get. But then let's talk about the different types of dirt bikes. So there's like a motocross or supercross dirt bike. There are like an enduro or a hard enduro single track off-road dirt bike. There are dirt bikes like a trail dirt bike where it's just a single track dirt bike. And then we also have like a dual sport. And a dual sport means that you can ride on road or pavement and also dirt as well. And then let's talk about the top brands. So there are a few brands out there that really kind of are the major brands that everyone kind of knows about. So let's start with like Honda. So Honda is a major brand. They're a Japanese brand. They've been making dirt bikes for a very long time. There's Kawasaki, same thing, Japanese brand. There's Yamaha, which is also a Japanese brand, and then there's Suzuki as well. And for a long time, those were the big names. Now, enter in KTM. So KTM is a manufacturer out of Austria, and they own a few different brands. So KTM owns Husqvarna and also GasGas, plus the KTM brand. So they have a few different brands that they own. So we'll kind of lump them into, all into KTM for now. And those are the top brands that are on the market today. But we've got some brands that are more prevalent in the off-road world or the off-road racing, kind of like the hard enduro type dirt bikes that are really up and coming type of bikes. So there's Sherco, and then there's also Beta. These are really big names as well in the off-road world, especially in the European circuit. But then there's another brand that's also, they have motocross bikes, plus they also do off-road dirt bikes, and that's TM Design. So those are the major brands out there when it comes to the different dirt bikes. So we have lots of different options to be able to choose from. And so if I was going to pick in the motocross and the supercross for the 250Fs, I'd go, my bike of preference would be the YZ250F. I'm a big fan of this platform. This is the FX. And then if I was going to go 450, I'd probably go with the Husqvarna FC 450 or the KTM 450 SXF, just because I'm more familiar with that platform. And if I was going to go, if we jump into the off-road world, we have the cross-country bikes and we have the gnarly single-track bikes. Now, Beta makes a gnarly single-track bikes. They have 4 strokes, 2 strokes, so they have all sorts of different things. I prefer riding a 2-stroke in the gnarly single track stuff. That's a preference. I just feel like they don't flame out as much and have more low end grunt. And a 300 XCW from KTM is probably my favorite off-road bike, but it's closely, or gnarly single track bike, it's closely followed by the Beta 200RR. I just feel like the Beta 200, if the suspension was a little bit better, I would prefer it. Actually, I like the motor on the 200RR from Beta better than the KTM 300 XCW. Like I said, this is all my opinion, guys. So, and then as far as cross-country bike, man, for a long time, I switched between 300 2-strokes like the KTM 300 XC, which to me is kind of a great do-it-all. You can ride it on a motocross track, you can ride it in gnarly single track, you can ride it in off-road in the desert and stuff like that. So kind of ride it anywhere. Well, I also then been riding the 250 XE, which is a 2-stroke, And then that quickly became my favorite do-it-all bike. So if I could only have one bike, it would be a KTM 250XC. But if I could have two bikes where I have a hard enduro bike, either the Beta 200 or 300 RR or the KTM 300 XCW, I would pick this bike. So this is a 2021 YZ250FX, and so this is so far my favorite four-stroke that I've ever ridden. So it's really fun. So that's kind of the off-road world. I know I skipped through that a little bit quickly, but those are what I feel are some of the best bikes out there. Any 302 stroke from Beta, Sherco, KTM, even TM is going to be fantastic. In the four-stroke world, 250, 450, 350, 390, 490, 500, all of those are great options as well, just depending on what your preference for riding is. The two strokes are a little bit more lighter than the four strokes, and have a little bit better gnarly low-end grunt than the four strokes do. And then as far as trail bikes are what I considered like not necessarily race tuned bikes. So like the TTR platform or the CRF 230F from Honda. So Yamaha, Honda, and Kawasaki, like the KLX, 300 or 230 or 250 or 125. Those are more trail bikes where they're lower to the ground. They have a softer seat, softer suspension, air cooled. Some of them are liquid cooled, but really just mild type dirt bikes. Great for just trail riding, great for beginners. You know, those are mostly going to be in the four-stroke, like an air-cooled four-stroke, like I mentioned, space. Those are what I would say the best beginner bikes. Now, they have electric bikes out there for kids, like the KTM makes a version, and there's a bunch of other brands. But we're not going to jump into that. So those are kind of what I feel are the best bikes out there. As far as the trail bikes go, just really depends. If you're a beginner, the 230 from Honda or Yamaha are great. The KLX 300. If you're buying new, they have some older KLXs that are two strokes that are really great. It's a KLX 200R. And then if you want like a bigger or full-size bike, like they have the WR 250 or 450, they have the CRF 250 or 450X, where those are based off the bigger platform motocross bike, but just with kind of more of a mild motor and a softer suspension and so forth. So those are kind of what I would say would be the different bikes and the best dirt bikes on the market. I want to know what dirt bike you have and why you think it's the best dirt bike. Like I said, the dirt bike you have in the garage is the best dirt bike in the world. It doesn't matter what year it is. It doesn't matter if it's the latest and greatest, if it has electric start or it doesn't, or you have to kick it. Does not matter. Get out there and ride. Let's see you out on the trails. Comment below what dirt bike you have and why it's the best, and we'll see you in the next video.